Hi all, my name is Councillor Zondervan and I'm a Cambridge City Councillor and MIT alumnus. I'm sorry I can't be with you all in person today, but I'm glad that I can share my thoughts via this video. I hope you're having a great event. Last year I was deeply concerned when I learned about Mohammed bin Salman's planned visit to MIT and Harvard. I submitted a council resolution which condemned the visit and criticized both universities for hosting him. This resolution was supported unanimously by my colleagues on the council. I participated in the community protest of his visit at MIT, where student activists joined mass peace action on the steps of 77 Mass Ave, and we shared our objections to his presence. As a boy, I lived in a country under military dictatorship, where freedoms were severely limited, so I especially cherish the opportunity to speak out when dictators and murderers are given respect they do not deserve. MIT did not provide the community with any opportunities to discuss or dissent MbS's visit. It was all done very secretly and behind the scenes. Since then, I've continued to have conversations with MIT, but they have shown no interest in changing their approach. That disappoints me greatly, and I will continue to push on this issue of how to handle visits by unwelcome dictators and other controversial figures. So why is it a problem for MIT to host MbS? Well, MbS is looking for legitimacy, and MIT is allowing him to simply buy it for cold, hard cash. Let me be clear that I do not begrudge MIT the money they receive from Saudi Arabia, but they don't have to allow the donor to gain legitimacy and goodwill from it. After MbS's visit, MIT commissioned a report from their provost, Richard Lester. The report essentially said, yeah, just because we take his money and honor him on campus doesn't mean we support his bad behavior, so we don't need to change anything. This is how institutions are able to act in a way that is both amoral and in direct contradiction to their stated values. They simply honored their biggest donors, no matter what the donor stands for or is doing in the world. In this case, oppressing women, murdering journalists, fighting devastating unnecessary wars, and selling climate change-causing fossil fuels. There's a growing realization that there's something wrong with this picture. MIT is part of the community, and what happens at MIT also reflects on Cambridge. In Cambridge, we cherish transparency and partnership. MIT is a strong community partner, and they do many great things that benefit our residents and stakeholders. So it's especially hurtful when they do something extraordinary like hosting such a controversial figure as MbS without any opportunity for the Cambridge community to weigh in or even properly comment on that decision. My guess is that most residents of Cambridge and students at MIT would object to hosting MbS in our great city if they were asked. To be clear, we are not asking for a community voice in every single decision made by the university. But when the university's actions impact our lives so significantly or reflect on our community in a major way, it does seem right and fair that the community should be part of that decision. Through our local government, stakeholders have an opportunity to weigh in on major decisions that are made regarding the city. Why should universities and other institutions or corporations be exempt from transparency and accountability to their host communities? So what can we do? Through our democratic institutions like the state legislature and the city council, we have the power to ask questions. Questions like, how was it decided that MbS should be permitted to visit MIT and should be received as a dignitary? It's high time we started to demand some answers, and that we start to reimagine the role we want institutions like Harvard and MIT to play in our lives and in our communities. What you are doing today is very important, because change will happen only when community stakeholders like yourself make it clear that you want greater accountability and transparency from all the institutions and corporations that impact our lives. Thank you for being part of this conversation, and I look forward to continuing to participate in this important dialogue.